You are listening to Forestry in Focus Weekly News for the latest breaking news in Nova Scotia's forestry community. So welcome everyone. This episode was recorded on Friday, October 24th, and I'm Todd Burgess, Executive Director of Forest Nova Scotia. We've got 5 headlines we're going to be talking about today. The first one, it's a biggie. The government of Nova Scotia shuffles their cabinet, and we now have a new minister, Kim Masland, that's looking after natural resources. Our second headline, Shannon Park is up for a part of a $13 billion Build Canada Homes project. The Forest Products Association of Canada just had their annual National Policy Convention in Ottawa. Our fourth headline regarding the last part of our Trees campaign, where the River Lake Beavers, Cubs, and Scouts are preparing to join us on Saturday to do a lovely large tree planting project in HRM. And then our last notice is the industry workforce training needs study that's being conducted by the Forestry Sector Council. Okay, so for our first headline, Tuesday afternoon, Premier Tim Houston moves out 3 ministers and bringing in 2 new ministers and reassigning some other roles. The Emergency Management Minister, Kim Masland, is now adding natural resources to her duties. Here's why it matters. We have a new minister. Minister Tory Rushton has been moved out and sits in MLA, and now Kim comes in with potentially some fresh ideas and some renewed enthusiasm to move some of our difficult projects across the finish line. So we'll see how that pans out. Our second story, Canada Lands Company has invited qualified companies to oversee the development and operation of district energy systems at 5 major redevelopment sites located in Nova Scotia and Quebec. Through the Build Canada Homes, a new federal agency that will build and finance affordable homes, Shannon Park in Halifax will be included with 3,600 housing units, 600 of them being affordable housing. Now, this is why it matters. Using local wood to develop these projects, and especially this one in Shannon Park, and using a district heating system that will use low-grade wood residues, make this project green. It'll help our local forestry sector and good for the environment. This is a great advancement in Nova Scotia. Now, the Forestry Products Association of Canada held their National Forestry Policy Conference in Ottawa this past week, and I was able to attend. The reason it's important is Canada's forestry sector supports over 200,000 jobs and fuels an $87 billion in economic activity across the country. But yet that sector faces many economic challenges, unpredictability from softwood lumber duties and tariffs, the Canada, US, Mexico agreement renegotiation coming up, European Union, EUDR regulations, and many other problems that are facing the sector. So this policy conference was a chance for the forestry sector to come together with federal politicians right in their backyard in Ottawa and discuss options that make forestry in rural Canada better. So it was some very good speakers, very good meetings that come out of that policy conference just this week. Our next story, the River Beavers, Cubs, and Scouts are preparing to volunteer to plant seedlings Saturday morning. That's tomorrow morning. The following morning, Monday morning, 25 students from the environmental class at Blockview High School will also arrive to help join in the planting. They're planting 2,000 seedlings in the HRM. This is why it matters. So planting trees contributes to reforestation while involving the youth and spreading awareness and connecting us better to nature. Really, the young people being connected to nature. Plus, everyone gets to take home one of their own seedlings and plant on their own property. This is important for forestry to connect to the youth and makes them feel good, and it actually does good for the environment. Our last story, the Forestry Sector Council has been gathering evidence-based data directly from workers and employers to shape training programs that build opportunities and keep the sector future ready. So I would encourage you to take their quick anonymous survey and share your input and encourage your staff to do the same. This matters because the Forestry Sector Council can better promote and inform the development of new programs and strengthen entry-level supports for workers, forestry businesses, and training organizations so they can be better aligned to develop the programs that are needed in forestry and forestry-based businesses. So before we leave today, we do have an announcement about a town hall that's coming up on November 12th in Bridgewater at the NSCC. We originally had that town hall scheduled for Sydney, but because of some developments with some speakers that are actually coming to Nova Scotia, we were moving it to Bridgewater. I would highly encourage you to come out 6 to 8 p.m. on November 12th. The town hall that we had scheduled for Sydney is going to be rescheduled into the spring, so you'll hear more about that. But I would highly encourage you come out to the town hall, the NSCC campus, November 12th in Bridgewater. So if you want to learn more about Forest Nova Scotia, I would recommend following us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. If you are a member, you'll get a regular newsletter update. But even better yet, yes, become a member, but go to our website. And on our website, we have some information on our blog posts, upcoming events where you can register for those events. So that's your Forestry News Update for the week. Stay tuned for more stories shaping our forest economy with our next podcast coming out soon. Thank you for listening.